Hey everyone! Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. Today I am going to show you how I made these gorgeous wood crate planter boxes. Use them to display your favorite succulents or herbs or as a centerpiece for a special event, and each of these will cost you no more than $1 or $2 to make. For the first DIY, you will need about 57 tumbling blocks, which I got at Dollar Tree, and 31 jumbo craft sticks. The first thing I did was stain the blocks and craft sticks with Minwax stain in dark walnut. Staining individual blocks can be a tediously long process, so instead I group 5 blocks together like so and apply the stain, wipe out the excess, then turn all 5 over at the same time and repeat. And doing it this way just cuts that staining time significantly. Now I'm going to leave the ends unstained because I will be gluing these ends together, and with wood glue it's always better to glue raw wood to raw wood if possible, since that will produce a much stronger bond. Next I stain the craft sticks, then wipe out the excess. I'm going to glue 3 blocks together, and I'm going to make 17 of these. 16 will be used to make the frame for the size of the box, and 1 will be glued to the bottom middle for extra support. Now I decided to stain the wood first because the stain is dark, and I'm using wood glue, and if that seeps out, the stain just won't absorb well or evenly into the wood. Otherwise, if you want to stain after, just make sure to sand those joints well before staining, or you can just paint it or leave it natural. Once that is done, I'm going to glue the blocks together to form a square. So glue them like so, and I make 4 of these. Then I take 6 craft sticks and place them on top of the square frames, making sure they're spaced out evenly, and then I glue them down. Once the sticks are glued to all 4 squares, I form my box. Now when gluing the sides together, it's important to make sure that one side is glued in the same way or same position as the parallel side, so that when you're looking down at the box, it should be a rectangular shape and not a square, otherwise the sides are going to look uneven. Now with some help, I take some very large rubber bands and I place that around the box just to keep it snug and tight, and I just leave it alone for about 10 minutes before I carefully start working on it again. I'm going to take 6 blocks and I'm going to glue 3 on the edge like so, and this will be used to make the base. So this will actually be the bottom of the box. Then I take some glue and dab a small amount on the tip of each craft stick, then turn over and press the wide side of the block against the glue, making sure it's laying flat on the surface. And then I repeat the process on the other side. I take the 7 remaining craft sticks and measure and cut, making sure it will fit nicely inside the box, and then I glue them down, and that makes the base. I let it dry a bit, then I turn over the box and I glue down the remaining blocks right down the center of the base, and that just gives it extra support. And that is it! This came out so beautiful! It was so easy to make, and yet it looks absolutely high-end. For the second DIY, I purchased wooden planks from Dollar Tree, and it came in a pack of 6. And I'm going to use 4 of them for this one. You'll also need 5 super jumbo craft sticks, and I'm going to add some color with Minwax stain in Driftwood. You can definitely stain or paint after if you like as well. To apply the stain, I'm just using a small piece of cloth that I cut out from an old shirt. Once I stain all 4 planks, I go back and add a much needed second coat. Then I stain the craft sticks, and 1 coat is more than enough. To assemble, I lay 1 plank down and apply glue on the side of another, and I place it down like so. It does help to have something behind the plank like a box. Here I'm using a wooden planter just to make sure the planks are at a 90-degree angle. Then I glue down the remainder plank. I give that a few minutes to dry, and here I'm just making sure that all sides are even, since I do have a little more time to make any adjustments before the glue completely dries. And just like the first DIY, I take several large rubber bands and I use that to hold the box together for a few more minutes. While that's drying, I place the craft sticks down side by side and then take the box, place that on top, and mark with a pencil. And this will be the section that I'll cut. Once that's cut, I glue it down like so, making sure they are evenly spaced out. And that's it. Very simple and quick DIY, but it came out so beautiful. For my third and final DIY, you will need 19 craft sticks, the remaining 2 planks from the previous DIY, and 14 tumbling blocks. I start by gluing 2 blocks together and I make 4 of these. Then I apply glue to the sides of the remaining blocks, and I start with 3, and with 1 plank held up at a 90-degree angle, the ruler actually helps with that, I push the 3 tumbling blocks with glue on them onto the bottom edge, making sure that they're evenly spaced out and flat on the surface. Then I glue the remaining 3 blocks onto the second plank. Once that is dry, I apply glue on the sides of the wood, then place the glued tumbling blocks on each side and push them together, and this is what elevates it and makes it into a stand. I do the same thing on the second plank. Next, stand the planks up side by side, and before I glue down the craft sticks to make the base, I make sure they're evenly spaced, and then I glue them down. You're going to apply 5 craft sticks on each open side. Now, I'm not sure why I started doing it this way. I was just making it more difficult than it had to be. The best way is to just lay it upright like so, and then glue down the craft sticks. And that is it for assembly. You can leave it natural like this. It's so pretty just like this. But I'm going to stain this planter with Minwax stain in Driftwood. This time I decided to stain after it was put together because since it's a stand and elevated, I wanted to make sure the bond of the glue was as strong as can be. In the end, I didn't really like how the tumbling blocks were staining. It was looking a little too orange, so I did sand them down a bit, and then it was perfect. I absolutely love how all 3 turned out, and I hope you do too. Thank you for watching. Take care. Until next time. Bye-bye.